Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. My name is Millie and today I'm going to be creating this Pride inspired look. Now I actually created this look like 6 months ago over on my blog when I very first got this palette here. So this is the NYX Ultimate Shadow palette, obviously in the shade Brights, and there's such a fantastic assortment of colours, and I just thought that this would make the most perfect Pride look. This uses one eyeshadow brush and the colours out of this palette. That's all you need to create this amazing rainbow look. I love how this has turned out. This is definitely something that I would wear. Obviously it's a little bit out of the box for just an everyday look for me anyway, but this is the look that I created. So if you want to see how I did this with just one eyeshadow brush and all the other products that I'm using on my face today, then just keep on watching. And I am starting with the base today, which you might think is a bit of a backwards way to do it considering the amount of colour that we're going to be putting on the eyes. But I have used this palette before, and I've used this before so I know that there isn't a ton of fallout, and I do prefer doing my base first. So I'm going to quickly whip all of that onto my face. I'm going for a glowy base but that's long lasting. So I am going to be powdering, but I will just put all of my base products on first and just snap through all of these. So first up I'm using the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish, and then the foundation I'm using today is the IRL Filter Foundation from Revolution. I wear this in the shade F3. So I'm going to apply one pump of this because it's one of those ones that you can build up. I'm going to apply one pump blended right out so that it's a little bit sheerer coverage, because it can be layered and it can be very full coverage, and that's just too much for me. So one pump all over the face and then blend it out with my beauty sponge. This is the EcoTools Bio Blender, I think it's called. For the under eye concealer I'm going in with the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is in the shade 5 Fair. For bronzer, I'm going in with the Revolution Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Light, and this is very pigmented, so you only need the tiniest little bit. And this is slightly more cool toned than bronzy for me, so I'm just using this as like my shadow. So then I'm setting down the centre where I put that concealer, and I'm using the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Pressed Powder. I have this in the shade Warm Beige, and I mean you can see how much I love that. There's so little product left. This really is one of the best setting powders that I've ever used. For powder bronzer, I'm going in with the Revolution Pro Sculpting Bronzer in the shade Cacao, and again this is another one that I have hit pan on. Really nice formula. It's just a bit dark for what I tend to use now, but a big brush and a light hand can make anything work. So that is the skin nicely warmed up. For blusher, I'm going in with the Flower Beauty Flower Pots in the shade Wild Rose. This is a beautiful, hot, bright pink. And I think the amount of colour that we're going to have on our eyes, we can definitely get away with a slightly brighter blush. So I will leave it at that for now. I will probably want more come the end of the video when I have the rest of the colour on. This is the highlighter that I'm going to use. This is the Maybelline Face Studio Chrome Extreme. I can't hold this up, but this is by far the most blinding highlight that I own, but it is so broken, so I have to use it very carefully. So I will dip in with my highlighter brush where it's not so broken, get loads and loads of that on the brush and make myself seen from outer space, basically. And I will also use it more than likely for my inner corner highlighter at the end, but for now I will keep that safely on my table. For brows, I'm using the Rimmel London Professional Eyebrow Pencil. This is in the shade 01 Dark Brown, so I'll be right back once I have built my eyebrows. This colour is a little bit warm, so I'm just going to go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, of course, in the shade Brunette, just to try and cool this down a little bit, because I feel like that doesn't match my hair colour at all. A little bit better. I feel like that pencil wasn't really the best choice for my hair colour at the minute, but it's by the by, that doesn't matter. I am going to start the eyes with the Lasting Perfection Stretch Concealer and Eyeshadow Primer. I have this in the shade 4 Extra Fair, and I'm just going to put this all over the lid and go right up under the brows. So that's the concealer on, just with a sort of flat eyeshadow brush, and then I'm going to go over with that concealer brush that I used before, the larger one, and just blend out the edges and make sure it's all blended out. Oh, use your words. And then before that creases, I'm going to just tap over that with some more of that powder. So I will just zoom you in a little bit so that you can see a little bit easier what I'm doing on the eyes. So I'm going to start just with a little bit of that bronzer on a really big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to buff that just slightly above the crease. Rather than going into the crease like this, I'm going a little bit above it, just to create a bit of depth more than anything, to put a bit of that shadow back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the inner corner of both eyes and lay down the colour. Now the brush that I'm using is, oh no, it just says Morphe on it. It doesn't say what brush it is, but this is just a small, there we go, a small fluffy brush. And I'm going to use the same brush for every colour. I'm going to start with this yellow here. This is a matte shade. This is a shimmer shade, so although this is lighter, it has got that shimmer in it, so I'm going to go straight into this one. So I'm just going to lay this down on the very inner corner, and then going in with this shade up at the top, this light peachy shade, which again is a matte colour, and just placing that next to it. I'm not worrying too much about blending this just yet. I want to just get the colour down. Then I'm going in with this one next to it, the brighter pink. And again, laying that down next to it, just overlapping it slightly, but not too much. Just getting that colour on there. And then the purple shade underneath it for the very outer corner. So at this stage I have all of these colours on, and I'm going to go in with a clean brush and just lightly blend over all of those edges where each colour joins on to the next one. So I'll start at the inner corner and just lightly run over where those two join. Then I'm wiping off my brush on my trouser leg, honestly, so the brush is clean again, and I move on to the next shade. The next join in shades, rather, make sure that those are blended. And at this stage I can decide how I want the shape to be on the outer corner. So I want this to be quite winged out and quite angular, so I'm going to just dip into that purple and make sure that it's sort of blending out in the shape that I want it to. So then this is all blended together really nicely. I'm going to just make sure that all of those colours are as vibrant as they can be. So I'm dipping back into that peachy shade, tapping over there, dipping back into the yellow, just so that it is intense as I want it. And then once I'm happy with that and the brush is clean again, I'm just blending over this upper edge one last time. So that is the upper lid done. I've got a hair. So I'm going to take that same purple shade that we finished with on the outer corner and just tap that a little bit on the outer third of the lower lash line. So that joins up with that outer corner nicely. Then I'm going in with this blue shade under the purple, loading that up on the exact same brush. We're still only using the one brush, and that's going to go next to that purple. Oh, there's a lot of kickback on this one. Whew. And then lastly, I'm going in with this green here. Now this is a shimmer shade, but I'm hoping that if I blend it out enough, it won't look out of place, because I just think that that shimmer will go nicely with this inner corner. So that is the full rainbow on my eyes. I will now just go along that bottom lash line and do the same as what we did on the top, blend over each one and then just build it up so that it is as intense as I want it to be. Okay, so now that all of the colours are on, I think I want a slightly deeper shade of purple on that outer corner, and thankfully there is one, so I'm just going to dip into that and just have that right on, without the cat hair, right on the outer area. So I'm happy with how all that is looking. I am just going to take a little bit of this yellow shimmery shade in the bottom corner and tap that over the top, because I want that yellow to just be a little bit brighter. And I'm almost taking this yellow like straight up to blend it out so that you really see a lot of that even when the eyes open. Yes, and I think that is me done for the eyeshadow palette. Anyway, so we've used a really good amount of colours in there to create this, and we've really only used the matte shades. We've only used those two shimmer shades just right on that inner corner, so you could create a whole different look using just the shimmers, which I think would look beautiful. But I'm going to put a little touch of that Maybelline Chrome Extreme highlighter just right on that inner corner, just to brighten that up a little bit, or a lot. Yes, I like how that looks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I want to put on some eyeliner. So I'm going to use the L'Oreal Black Lacquer liquid eyeliner, because this one is waterproof and it'll just make it last really, really well all day if you're going to a festival or whatever, just a casual Tuesday. So that is the liner, and I just extended the inner corners just a tiny little bit. I've never done that before, so that was a risk, but I like how that looks. I'm happy with that. So for mascara, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. They have brought out a rainbow version of this, and I can't remember, but some of the money goes to like Pride charities, so I really want to pick that up because this is my favourite mascara and the packaging's beautiful and it's for a good cause. So that is the mascara on and the eyes are done. I will just zoom you out and we will finish off the rest of the face. So for the lips, I'm going in with the Rimmel Exaggerate Full Colour Lip Liner in the shade Addiction. So that is the lip liner on, and then the product that I'm using on the top is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade 06 Reef. This is such a beautiful gloss and the colour is so pretty, especially with that lip liner. They go together so well. So I am going to put on a bit more bronzer and then also some more blush, because I feel like that highlighter just knocked back the blush a little bit and I feel like the look can take it. And that is me done. The easiest rainbow eye look. You need one eyeshadow brush and this is what you can create. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can hit that subscribe button down below. That would help me out a lot, and then you will get notified every time I upload a new video. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye!